This is a very small-scale movie written and directed by Kitty Green, and it stars Julia Garner, probably best known for Ozark at this point. And she plays can you guess it? Yes, an assistant, but an assistant to whom, you may wonder. Well, that's one of the things you don't get any clear and straight answers to, because this movie almost goes out of its way to not provide any sort of exposition. It doesn't want to tell you things, it doesn't want the character to spell things out for you. It very much takes the approach of show, don't tell, because you do learn things. But sort of inadvertently by just paying attention to what's going on. So instead of the movie spoon feeding you everything you need to know right off the bat, you actually have to follow along and kinda piece it all together as the movie progresses. It's one of these rare movies that actually respects the audience and, well, to be blunt, doesn't treat the audience like a bunch of blithering idiots. It trusts that we have enough brain capacity to put two and two together and to fill in the gaps where it's needed, which I personally very much appreciate, and it helped keep me intrigued and engaged too. It also feels so refreshing to see a movie that actively tries not to give you unnecessary information, where you as an audience member can actually engage your brain and put it to use. But it's not like this is some sort of mystery thriller with a lot of twists and turns either. Or that there's some sort of crazy puzzle it asks you to piece together yourself. That's not the type of movie this is, because the story here follows this assistant and her workday, from early morning until late at night. You see everything she gets up to and everything she goes through during that single day. And that's pretty much it, which means the idea here is extraordinarily simple. And had it not done something to keep you engaged with it for pretty much every second of it, this could have very easily become one of the most boring movies of the year. Like, had this just taken the approach of telling you exactly what was going on at every moment, there would have been more or less nothing to keep you interested for 90 minutes. Because a lot of what goes on here, on the surface at least, is rather unremarkable. You just follow this overworked and probably underappreciated assistant who goes about her daily chores. Writing checks, cleaning up, setting up appointments, training new employees, etc, etc. Basically making sure everything is on track and goes according to plan. She's essentially what keeps the wheels turning, but at the same time, she's sorta invisible. Just a cog in this large engine, and you get the sense that she's probably easily replaceable too. But she works hard and long hours and goes above and beyond to do her best. And it's the sort of job I would personally never want to have. High stress, low reward. Which also made me ask the question why anyone would put themselves through that. And it's one of the questions the movie poses too. Is the effort worth the reward? But it does it in a very subtle way, like it does with just about everything else too. And while it touches on certain topics that have been in the media a lot in the last few years, even there it doesn't feel preachy or in your face or like it's pushing an agenda. It doesn't beat you over the head with it, instead it chooses to pose some questions. It makes you think, it sets it all up and then lets you draw your own conclusions. It also makes it clear that these situations aren't black and white, there's a lot of grey in between. And that's the sort of nuance a lot of these stories lack. They generally choose to go very hard with the message they want to put out. This one though doesn't. It's a lot smarter than that, and I love it for that. It's a movie that on paper sounds dull, and to be honest, it could have easily been boring. I mean, it doesn't even have a score for most of it. The score is basically just office noises. And it's not even very dialogue heavy either. It's actually kind of a quiet movie. But somehow they figured out a way to make it compelling and intriguing. And I ended up liking it quite a bit, but more than that I ended up really respecting and appreciating what it accomplished. But does that mean I would recommend it? Yeah, if you like dramas, definitely. But if you don't, then this will most likely not be for you, because it doesn't have that much else going on. So you know, maybe give it a peek, or maybe don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.